this.
Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. Hello. Welcome. Greeting. Salutations. How is everybody? We good? We good? All right. Coming up on the show today, Kamala's beta male husband doesn't like toxic masculinity, except when he knocks up the nanny, y'all. Nancy Pelosi's fawning all over Joe Biden has jumped all the sharks.
All of them.
All of them, every single one. The UK's welcome mat for migrants bites them right in their tea and crumpets. And is there going to be a debate or WTF? What's happening? All of that. And oh my God, so much more. So much more coming up on today's show. It's going to be a long one from what Maka said. It's going to be super long. I don't know if you guys, it's going to be a long show.
Not super long, but longish.
Yeah. We were going to start doing like Mean Message Monday today, but I don't know if we're going to have time to do that.
I know. I've got mean messages ready, but I just don't know if we're going to get to them because there's a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah. You guys, we hit 100,000 on YouTube.
That's exciting. Thank you to everybody.
Yes.
Let's do that.
Yes. We're very delighted about that. Which is probably why we're getting a lot more mean messages now. Don't you think?
I know we have so many that we've got enough for 3 weeks worth at this point. So that's exciting. Apparently we're supposed to be able to get like some sort of plaque from YouTube that says, look at you getting your 100,000 subscribers. But then like when you apply for the plaque, or when I applied for the plaque this morning, it says you're not eligible for this because you haven't hit 100,000 followers. And I'm like, but I have. So we both know I have.
Yeah.
Let's just be realistic, YouTube. Yeah.
So they were like, you're conservative. Nuh-uh.
You don't get it. Nuh-uh. And I don't know why. I don't know why. So
I know why. I think we all know why. Let's get real.
Also, if everybody could just have this little town of Beaufort in your thoughts as they get clobbered by a hurricane. We were supposed to not have a show this Thursday and Friday because I'm supposed to go to South Carolina to look at the house and make sure it's still there and all that sort of stuff. And now I don't think we're going to go. I don't know. So we're just looking at the weather and hoping that it's not as bad as it sounds like it could be, but it's looking like it could be kind of bad. So anyway, for people in Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, and even North Carolina, I hope you got your rain gear out because it's looking like it's going to be a wet one. Also, the markets are going freaking bonkers right now. So I don't know what's going to happen with the markets today. Do not look at your 401k statement. Whatever you do,
don't do it.
Just don't
do it. And Kamala, she's like, I have nothing to do with that. I have nothing to do with it. What's a cloud? What's a market? What's any of this stuff? I don't know.
Yeah, just don't, because it's bad and it's expected to be even worse today. So just know that it's bad and just know that this is a long-term thing and you just got to ride it out. Don't do anything rash. Just ride it out and pay attention to other things. Okay. And then lastly, before we get to other headlines, we just need to say, if you have not listened to the weird video that RFK Jr. posted of a story that he told Roseanne Barr, which I don't even understand how that meeting occurred, but they were together on video, and RFK Jr. admitted to putting a dead baby bear cub in the middle of Central Park, positioned next to a bike so that it would look like a bike ran over the bear cub. This was after he shot the bear cub. I don't know if he shot it or if he ran over it or he just found it freshly run over or shot.
I think he found it.
Okay.
I think he found it.
Yeah. He found it and wanted it to eat, right? And so he wanted to keep it, put it in his car, and then realized, oh crap, I'm traveling. So I can't get this bear home. So, but I can't leave it in the car. So I know I'll do this really hilarious thing where I like set up a scene of a crime where it looks like this bear was hit by a bike in an impossible place that would never happen. It'll be hilarious. This guy is out of his mind, clearly, but he thought, I'm going to go ahead and tell the story on video because New Yorker magazine or some publication is about to write a hit piece on him and they were going to include that story. So he thought, well, I'm going to just tell it, thinking it would make him look better.
Like make him look more sane. Yeah.
I mean, it's of 2014, and it was all over the news, all over, and he's never admitted it until this weekend. Essentially,
it was the longest, most convoluted story because he kept getting sidetracked on his way to I don't even know what. Like he put it in the back of his car or whatever. This dead bear. Who does that, by the way? Who is like, oh, there's a dead bear. I think I'm going to stop and put it in my car. Like there's roadkill. Do you guys, I mean, if I see roadkill, I just keep driving. I don't go, hey, I think I'll stop on the side of the road, get the roadkill, pick it up, put it in my car, and then just drive around with it for a while I make several stops. Because he did that. He made several stops and he was telling Roseanne that. You could tell Roseanne was just like, get to the point.
Yeah, it was a long ass story.
It really was. It was a little nuts. Yeah. And then he was like, well, I can't really take it to eat it.
How did he not know that when he first loaded the bear? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The whole story was so bizarre.
It was bizarre. I have a dinner to go to. I got this to go to. I got that. And who wants to take a roadkill bear and eat it?
This is the thing. He's crazy. And so that is crazy. And that story is out there. And you just need to know that that's a thing that's out there. So, right. You guys, can we just talk about dogs for a minute?
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh. If you have not had your dog, try Ruff Greens, the health powder that's made just for dogs by naturopathic Dr. Dennis Black, who really, really, really just wants it to improve the health of every dog. Why would you not have your dog try this? They're going to love it. It's chock full of all kinds of vitamins and minerals and antioxidants and omega oils and all kinds of digestive enzymes that your dog needs, not just for good digestive function, but also for healthy, nice coats, soft coats, better breath, and tons of energy. Let me just show you what it looks like when you go to roughchicks.com. The funnest part about going to roughchicks.com is that you get to see the happy little faces of all these dogs whose parents have given testimonials about how much. I know Ren is my favorite. Ren reminds me of those dogs that had the bread. Remember the bread?
He's a bread dog. Yes. Oh my God.
But I mean, there's so many happy customers with Ruff Greens. I mean, and then if you scroll, you get to see all of their cute little face. I mean, just look, right? Like, what fun is it? Is it? Are
the dogs' names Barbara and David and Susan, or is it the people? Because I want to believe that the dog's name is Barbara. I want to believe that.
I don't think that's Barbara. He doesn't look like a Barbara.
Okay, all right.
It just doesn't look like it.
Okay.
Look at this one from Michelle.
Oh my God.
Oh my gosh.
What a sweet Weimaraner.
They love Ruff Greens, you guys, and your dog will too. You can get this for free, by the way. You can get this free Jumpstart trial bag when you go to roughchicks.com and just try it. Just try it for a little while. See what your dog thinks. Your dog will probably, just to warn you, if you use that whole bag, that's probably, that's several days worth. You're going to use that, and then your dog's going to be like, I will not eat without it.
Where's my gravy? Where's my gravy?
Yeah, because it brings that dry kibble to life. So you should try it. Your dog will love it. He will love you even more for it. So it's roughchicks.com. Roughchicks.com. All right. So let's start with we do have to actually recognize a Venmo that we got last week, who said, I saw this on Fox News last night. This is from Dave, saying DEI stands for discriminatory, extreme, and insulting.
Yep. That. And didn't earn it.
And didn't earn it. Exactly. And then also some good news. We all need a little bit of good news every now and then. And This is the cutest little good news ever. Look at this. Look at Tim Scott getting married.
Yeah, it's super cute. Very, very
I
cute.
mean,
Mm-hmm.
he's so happy. He's like still tweeting about it today. He's like, one more day and a day of forever is with you. He's like all Mr. Romance guy. It's like totally cute.
They are a cute couple. They're very, very cute.
Mm-hmm. And then also a woman named Lisa, a member of our audience, sent us a video on Friday afternoon that her husband had recorded on Friday morning. So just this past Friday morning, August 2nd, he recorded himself asking Alexa about whether or not Trump had been shot. And so I think that this has been updated since, because I tweeted about it. A lot of people were trying and testing and getting the same answer. But this is what Alexa was saying on Friday, August 2nd, just a few days
Alexa, was former President Donald Trump shot?
No, it is not true that former President Donald Trump was shot. Rumors of such an incident are not verified and should be treated with skepticism. It is crucial to rely on credible sources of information and avoid spreading unfounded conspiracy theories or misinformation.
Can you even?
Yeah, it's unreal.
And then it was weird because when I tweeted that out on Friday, some people were like, oh my God, I just tried it and it got the exact same thing. But then later in the day, people were saying, I'm getting a different answer. I'm getting the correct answer now. And so then I think that they changed it essentially when they were called out.
Yeah, because they actually saw your tweet and they were like, oh shit, we got to like change this a little bit.
What the heck, Jeff Bezos?
Yeah, this is nuts.
Wow.
They always want to change history, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's
and then
that is crazy.
And then they'll point their fingers at us and say, you guys are conspiracy theorists. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Also, if you've been paying attention to the Olympics, or even if you haven't, you've probably seen some highlights. And one of the highlights that happened over the last several days was that a French pole vaulter by the name of Anthony Amirati missed the pole. And as he was going over it and then coming back down, you know how you face it when you come back down? And then he did not clear it because of his junk.
His giant
here's
junk.
what it looked like. Right? God, right there.
Yeah, there it is, right there. That guy is like, I mean, I lost, but did I really? Did I
lose?
Did I? Yeah.
And this is the new flag that has dropped just for him.
Oh my gosh, the greatest. Isn't
that so perfect?
That guy is now a national hero, right?
I mean, really, and like I saw in the Daily Mail that it said something like, "Oh, that guy, the pole vaulter, finally speaks out after the incident," and I was like, "What's he gonna say?" And he said, and he was just like, "Yeah, it really sucks. I've been working for this a long time." He didn't even mention the reason that he did not clear that pole.
Yeah, and now he's on OnlyFans.
Or should be.
I mean, totally.
Should be.
Bounce, check out.
Sorry.
Yeah. His name is Dirk Diggler. That's his name, you guys, on OnlyFans. Go check it out.
This was another thing that happened over the weekend. Morgan Wallen had a concert. He walked out into the arena alongside Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, and Chris Jones. And he was wearing a Chiefs jersey that everyone was saying was a Harrison Butker jersey because it was his number, even though it had, Morgan Wallen's name on the back of it. The number was 7, which is Harrison Butker's jersey number. And so here he is walking out. This is what that looked like. I mean, it was very hype. And so lots of people were excited that he was like promoting Harrison's jersey number. But then there were other people going, but it was his name on the back, so it doesn't really mean anything. So I don't know. If you want to take it as though he was promoting Harrison Butker, I'm taking it that way.
Because of number 7. And what is he not allowed to do that? Because Harrison believes in like family values and stuff. That's
How dare he?
He can't do that. Oh my God.
Anyway, I thought that was kind of neat.
It is neat.
So that all happened over the weekend. Also, the UK right now is the reason for the title of our video today, UK FAs and FOs, is because now that they've been importing so many thousands upon thousands of Middle Eastern, like fighting age men, they're starting to find out what happens when you do that. These are not people who want to assimilate. Okay. And so they have had a really, really tough weekend. It started when there's this hotel, like a Holiday Inn in the middle of Rotherham, where they're housing all of these migrants. Okay. And so the British people are sick and tired of it because the crime has had a huge uptick. There were those 3 girls that were stabbed. Everyone is like all up in arms in the UK because of how insane this has all become. So they were super mad about this Holiday Inn being reserved completely for all of these migrants. And they started to get a little crazy. This was yesterday afternoon.
Meeting is still continuing now. They're actually inside the hotel now. They're inside, smashing the hotel. All the outside of the hotel smashed up. Police, there's not enough police to be dealing with the situation, if I'm honest. I have no idea how they're going to keep the people inside safe. I've spoke to the guy who organised the protest. He's absolutely devastated that it's come to this. He wanted something peaceful. But as you can see, a lot of people are really angry. And as I say, they're now inside the hotel. I think it's going to get worse.
Oh, nice. That looks peaceful. Looks super peaceful.
But I don't blame them for being angry. I mean, these are people whose country has been completely taken over.
Oh my God. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I saw another video. I don't know. You probably don't have it, but there was a woman saying that a lot of these migrants are going after the locals if they oppose open borders.
Oh my God. They're going after just white people at this point.
Right. Exactly.
I mean, it's really gotten bad. This fellow lives in the area and he was trying, and he's frustrated because now you've got this prime minister. What's his name? Keir Starmer is the new prime minister. And he's been basically saying, if you're out there protesting these migrants, then we're coming after you prosecuting you to the fullest extent of the law. And this guy's like, why don't you care about our neighborhoods being safe? Here he is talking to that same reporter.
I can tell you, when this hotel was first taken over, we had refugees here from Afghanistan, and there were real refugees. They were welcomed into the village, welcomed into the town. There were people donated clothing, toys. There were women and children. Now we've seen a fundamental shift. We've got 200 men of fighting age here. And as I said, we're in a residential area. Why would you place them here in an area like this?
Yeah. And then somebody made the comment, I saw, what's going to happen when this happens in America? Because it will come to America. And I'm like, well, the difference will be is that a lot of us, I live amongst rednecks. So we're armed. We're well armed. So we'll see what happens. Just putting it out there. And that's the thing, you guys, do not give up your guns. Just don't do it ever.
Well, and so when the like Muslim fighting age men heard that these protests were happening, they came out in droves to fight back. And so this is what that looks like. And they're all masked and terrifying. I mean, look at that, right? Like then last night it got bad. Like I just saw this morning, that same hotel, it got lit on fire.
It's crazy. Again, this is why that song came out, Try That in a Small Town, because they don't want to do that. They don't want to try that shit in a small town. Just don't.
That's right. And then here's Keir Starmer himself threatening the people who are protesting. So not the fact that there's crime. He doesn't care about the 3 girls that were stabbed, whatever. That's all
believable.
That's neither here nor there. He's sending a message to the people who are mad about the crime.
Be in no doubt, those that have participated in this violence will face the full force of the law.
Really?
The police will be making arrests. Individuals will be held on remand. Charges will follow, and convictions will follow. I guarantee you will regret taking part in this disorder, whether directly or those whipping up this action online and then running away themselves. This is not protest. It is organised, violent thuggery, and it has no place on our streets or online.
This guy is exempt, right? He's exempt from what's happening because he is in the elite. Just like we say with the liberal elite here, they're all exempt from, from crime even. A lot of them are exempt. Some of them have felt a little bit of crime and they're like, why is there crime? I don't understand. But for the most part, they're exempt from the crap. I feel like they're exempt from the, economic things that we're having, the hardship that a lot of us are experiencing too. But when it comes to crime, they're exempt because they live in their, gated communities and they don't have to deal with it and they don't see it. And when it comes to this stuff, they don't have to deal. They don't have to deal with the dirty migrants. We don't have to deal with all that because, and then when they show up on their doorstep, they're like, well, wait a second. You guys are the ones that have to deal with these people, not us, because we're important. We're the elite. It's the same exact thing.
When you keep pushing and pushing and pushing a populace to just accept the fact that they are no longer safe in their own neighborhoods, people will fight back. They are not just going to take this laying down.
Right. And it'll happen here. It will.
It will happen here. And the reason that that's clearer than ever is because there was also a protest in DC over the weekend for the purpose of having open borders. And these people are freaking batshit.
Do you think illegal immigrants should be able to vote?
Yeah, I think if you're paying taxes and you're putting money into the economy for a country that you've lived at for over a decade, yes, I think you should have a voice in the people that are making rules on your life.
You kick us out, you better get a seat right next to us and buckle up. Because it's all of us or none of us.
Do you think illegal immigrants should be able to vote in this next election?
I do. They live in this country. They have a purpose being here. And every vote should count. Everybody should be able to have a place to speak, whether your documentation status. That shouldn't be affected because you're living in this country. So that's going to affect you whether you have documentation or not.
It's not legal for an illegal person to vote.
We know that the Constitution says only citizens can vote, and so everyone should have the opportunity to have a path to citizenship.
Why do you think they deserve those citizen rights?
Because they're human. We're all humans, and it's a basic human right. So, yeah.
So we had these protests here today, and it was all about immigration and citizens' rights. What do you think? A lot of people want to let them vote in the next election. Do you think they should be able to vote?
It should be open to interpretation. I think some people should be able to vote. I don't think you necessarily need to be a legal citizen.
I feel like everyone should have a right to vote. It's going to make an impact on who we want to be as president, as mayor, as councilor, so...
Even if they came in illegally, they should be able to vote?
Yeah. I think everybody needs a chance.
I feel like they're not really supposed to be in this. It's not like they're not supposed to be in this country.
Yeah,
I'm not trying to say that. It's just like they're just not official.
Do you think all these folks that came across in the last few years should be able to vote in the next election?
I think that's too soon. That's totally too soon.
America's supposed to be great, so we have all the resources and all the stuff. So as people who are supposed to come here, I feel like they need us for help. So yes, they should have a right to vote. We're supposed to be the people that make everything perfect.
Who do you think immigrants should vote for in the next presidential election?
God help us. Right? You know who's doing it right? Or Poland and Hungary. They're doing it right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's
absolutely.
They just look to them and people will be like, you guys are racist. You're xenophobes. And they're like, we don't care what you think of us. We're actually doing what, I guess it's kind of like us saying to people, okay, we're going to follow our Constitution and we don't really care what people think. Yeah. And what we're acting like right now as a country is this insecure teenager who really cares what everybody else thinks. And that's exactly what you just saw in that video, or all these people going, well, I mean, I'm not going to say what I probably should say, which is we're going to follow the Constitution and there are laws and people should abide by the laws. What I'm going to say is, it's a human right, man, because that's what I've been told to say. It's like, it's so dumb. Do I get to pick and choose what laws I want to follow? No.
I know, it's infuriating. And those people, especially the chicks at the end who were like, oh yeah, illegals should totally vote. And they would totally vote for Kamala. I mean, what is even happening that our country has gotten this dumb?
Yeah.
I cannot.
Yeah. We're living idiocracy right now.
We absolutely are. And as we mentioned earlier, the stock markets are tanking this morning. Everything is really, really, really on fire across the entire world. And when times are crazy like this, there's peace of mind in security. And the way to have more security is to not have all of your eggs in one basket. This is why we're so, so, so proud to have the sponsor Birch Gold with us, helping us be educated about why precious metals might be a good thing to add to your financial portfolio, and helping us help you guys be educated. Because when you text the word chicks to 989898, Birch Gold is going to send you a free information kit about how you can invest in gold, silver, other precious metals, which right now it's a hugely good way to diversify your savings. They are a hedge against inflation because they are a physical asset that is in super high demand right now across the globe. So why wouldn't you want to have some of that in your financial portfolio? If it's something that's new to you, you don't know how to do it, this is what Birch Gold is all about. You just need to text the word chicks to 989898, and they will get you that free information kit, which is happily very, very easy to understand, even for non-finance minds like mine. So again, text the word chicks to 989898 and get yourself some gold. All right. We need to talk about whether or not there's going to be a debate, because it's looking unlikely at this point, I would say. Actually, let me say some thank yous really quickly. Brian Brumley over on Local said, if RFK had run the bear off of a bridge and left it to drown, he could have been elected to the Senate.
Oh my gosh. So true.
John Newbaum says, for those in the path of Debbie and SMOD, please save us from Hurricane Harris. SMOD. Why am I brain fading on that?
I don't know what SMOD is.
What does that mean?
Know.
Sweet Meteor of Death.
Okay. Gosh, we should know that.
Yeah, we should know that. Curio23 says, mushy, mushy misfits and weirdos. Joni Driscoll says, good morning, everybody. I'm 55 today. Happy birthday,
Double
Joni.
Nickels.
Thank you, Christine Wise. Kim Donaldson says, maybe that's the schlong for today. I'm going to assume she's talking about the pole vaulter. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yes.
Thank you, Gwendolyn Joe. And Bo Mama 8 says, I just asked Alexa, said FBI identified crooks as subject in attempted assassination. Also said Michael Steven Sanford, also tried in Las Vegas in 2016. Yeah, it's weird, right? Like you would think Alexa would be consistent across the board, but some people get one answer and some people get another, and that is bizarre. And Seth McMillan says that's one hell of a schlong. All right, let's talk about whether or not there's going to be a debate. So here's what Trump tweeted out on Friday. He said, I have agreed with Fox News to debate Kamala Harris on Wednesday, September 4th. The debate was previously scheduled against Sleepy Joe Biden on ABC, but has been terminated in that Biden will no longer be a participant, and I'm in litigation against ABC and George Slopadopoulous, thereby creating a conflict of interest. The Fox News debate will be held in Pennsylvania at a site in an area to be determined. The moderators will be Brett Baier and Martha McCallum, and the rules will be similar to the rules of my debate with Sleepy Joe, who has been treated horribly by his party, but with a full arena audience. He went on to say Democrats, he explained how this has all been so undemocratic and how they've replaced Joe with Kamala, and how he has spent tons and tons of money, tons of time fighting Joe Biden. And then when he won the debate, they threw a new candidate into the ring. It's not fair. He said these bad policies are the same with Kamala, and this will strongly be revealed at the September 4th debate. I look forward to meeting and debating her on September 4th. It's a convenient and appropriate date in that it's just prior to the September 6th start of early voting. I look forward to seeing everyone on September 4th in Pennsylvania. Naturally, Kamala did not agree. So,
no, of course not, because it's Fox. She's
Right.
she's scared to death because she doesn't want to go on Fox. She'd much rather go with George, Stephanopoulos, who it's absurd for him to do that. And it's a hostile environment for Trump. So of course she wants that.
And he already did a hostile environment.
Of course he did. Yeah, of course. And he's done it a million times. He's been in hostile environments. So the fact that she won't agree to just one debate on Fox shows what a complete wuss she is. She was coronated Soviet style, this woman. She was like placed there by her little commie party. And now she won't agree to a little tiny debate on Fox. She's the wuss. She's the chicken. He's got to pummel her about this.
Well, I mean, it's an interesting debate about the debate, right? Because some people see it that way, which is, of course, the right way to see it. But then she's spinning it to make it sound like Trump is afraid. So her statement through the communications director was Donald Trump is running scared and trying to back out of the debate he already agreed to and running straight to Fox News to bail him out. He needs to stop playing games and show up to the debate he already committed to on September 10th. The VP will be there one way or the other to take the opportunity to speak to a primetime national audience. We're happy to discuss further debates after both campaigns have already agreed to. Mr. Anytime, Anywhere, Anyplace should have no problem with that unless he's too scared to show up on the 10th. And she's got, all of her supporters are like, yeah, he's terrified. But what should also be pointed out is that ABC intends to provide the airtime to whoever shows up, even if it is just her, which would actually be kind of amazing to hear her have to take questions unscripted. If that's what actually happens.
They're not going to ask her questions that have any substance. They're going to coddle her. It's ABC, for Christ's sake. They're not going to ask her anything that's going to be hard hitting. They're going to do a puff, whatever it is. I don't even know, a town hall or whatever format it is. It's going to be beneficial to her and her campaign. They will do. And if it were him by himself, they would have pummeled him. They would have just tried to destroy him, which is what they do. We all know it's unfair. All of this is unfair. Everything that they've done on their side has literally been Soviet style. Everything that we've done on our side has been democratic, And so George, the people who work at ABC, gross. Just gross. Yeah. George, tell us more about the bimbo style eruptions during the Bill Clinton years and what you did to women back then.
Well, Donald Trump's folks are trying to, to spin it the right way. Donald Trump Jr. said, my father already did a debate with fake news CNN.
Exactly.
So is Kamala going to accept the debate with Fox, or is she going to be a coward and back out?
Yeah. And where was she with the black journalists? She was even afraid to do that.
Yeah.
She can't do anything that's unscripted. This woman can't. And so she's thinking, if I do the ABC one and it's unscripted, at least it's a friendly environment. Listen, that Martha McCallum and Brett Baier are not going to be mean. They're not. They're just going to ask normal questions that you ask in the real world. She can't handle the real world.
Yeah, she can't. It's true. Unfortunately, the message is resonating with some people that he's scared and that he should do the debate and all this stuff. So I'll show you both sides kind of this argument. But Stephen Miller, of course, said, the correct response to all of this is, why is Joe Biden sending Kamala Harris in his place for the second debate? Nobody's talking about the fact that the rules have completely changed.
Right.
And that factors in. That matters, right? That should actually matter.
Yeah.
But there's people who are falling for it, who's like Alex Berenson, who was like really, really great during the whole COVID thing. He said this is another horrendous ego-driven decision that makes Donald Trump look weak. He says, I'm not MAGA or a Democrat. I said I would vote Trump over Biden because Biden was unfit. I am one of the voters Trump needs to keep. And I'm telling you, ducking the debate is a terrible choice. He has made only bad choices since the last hour of his acceptance speech.
I don't agree with that at all. This guy's off base. I totally don't agree with that. Seriously, he's weak. Dude was shot in the head.
I know.
Like, get bent, dude. You think he's weak? God, from your little keyboard, you're going to call him weak? Okay.
And this is perfect. So because Kamala had already agreed to debates against JD Vance, she needs to honor those. If that's what we're playing, if we're going to play this game, then she needs to debate JD Vance because that was the commitment she made.
Yeah. I mean, this is right. I mean, it's just so stupid. These people change the rules every 5 minutes, and they've done it for years. They're famous for changing the rules. They change semantics. They change the rules. This is what they do. I mean, and we just like sit by and we go, well, I guess, okay, we'll play their game by their rules. Enough.
Yeah. It's out of control.
God.
Guy said, is Kamala Harris no longer going to debate JD Vance? Is she pulling out of her agreement to do so? So cowardly. She must be terrified of him. Or, hear me out. Did something change rendering previous debate-related agreements no longer applicable?
Yes, Guy.
Yes, Guy.
Amen to that. I swear. These people are insufferable.
I know. I love this one too. Sean Davis said, if I agree to sell you my house for a specific price by a specific date and you drop out and refuse to buy it, that offer does not magically extend to whatever random idiot you want to buy my house instead. Everyone knows this. Democrats know this. They know they're lying. They know you know they're lying. They don't care. All they do is lie.
Thank you, Sean. Thank you. It's true. They're
Totally
manipulators. True. They're liars. They're thieves. They're cheaters. This is what they do. They are void of morals. Like, so sick of it. And then we just sit there and we're like, well, I mean, I guess if we have to do it on their turf and their rules, I guess we'll do it. We have got to start calling them out for all this bullshit.
Yeah. I mean, this is really so egregious that they're trying to pretend that they didn't completely pull the rug out from under him, from all of us, really. I mean,
totally.
Of course they did. So here's Lisa Boothe. There was a conversation on a panel over the weekend. Here's Lisa Boothe talking about this very topic.
There's this debate about the debates. They both said, bring it on, but then they can't agree on where, what network, how it's going to happen. But how do you see all this? And do you really think Americans care about this little fight going on between them?
Well, I will say that the way that this is all being presented by the media is a lie. I mean, you look at some of these headlines, Trump pulling out of the debate. No, that debate was set between Joe Biden and Donald Trump. Joe Biden is the one that backed out of the debate because he backed out of being the candidate because his party was so afraid he was going to lose. They whacked the guy and brought in Kamala Harris at the 11th hour. I really don't think that the guy that took a bullet to the ear and then stood up and yelled, fight, 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 is afraid to debate Kamala Harris. He's making sure that the debate is fair. She's not even the nominee yet. She's the presumptive nominee. She's not the actual nominee.
Yeah, I mean, all of this is just so absurd. And of course, the media is playing along with it. And they're, carrying water for these people. Like, everything is gross right now. Everything. And
but I do want them to debate. You know what I mean? Like, she needs to be on a debate stage, forced to answer questions. And the worry is that now there won't be anything that we're going to be able to see in the form of debate. Here's David Webb talking about that.
I don't think Trump's afraid to debate her. I think the biggest problem we have right now is that she may not do the debate, and the American people need to see her on display the way they did Joe Biden.
Which is exactly right.
I hear you. I totally hear you. But it doesn't need to be on her terms. Everything that has happened over the past, 3 weeks has been on their terms.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, enough already. Gosh.
So this one Spock person said, my advice to Trump is agree to debate Kamala as he had previously agreed with Biden. But now that there's a new candidate, the people deserve 2 debates. So he should insist on adding a Fox debate as well as the ABC debate.
It's a good solution.
The red state guy is saying Harris won't agree, which gives him an opportunity. Show up for the Fox News debate, rip her uncontested, and then 12 hours before the ABC debate, announce he's showing up even though she cowered in fear, and leave her completely flat-footed.
I love both of these suggestions.
Right? I know. I thought that was so great.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And then Frank Luntz, this was super interesting to me because it made me think, how would Trump answer this question? He said people have been asking him what would be the toughest question to ask Donald Trump in a debate. And he said, what 3 mistakes did you make as president?
He wouldn't answer it. He would, how he would answer that is he would deviate, he would dance around it. He would just talk in circles, I think.
Yeah.
I
think he would either do that, or he would say choosing X person, Y person, and Z person for whatever positions. Cause he's no longer on good terms with so many of the people that he hires.
Yeah,
He'd be able to say like having Fauci lead COVID, or having so-and-so lead this and that. I think that would be his fallback.
Right. Or I think this guy is a complete loser. I should have fired him. That.
Right.
Kind of
Right.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So, but it is an interesting question, because it would be nice for somebody to ask that, and for Trump to take some accountability for his wrongness with COVID. You know what I mean? Like that would go a long way with a lot of people.
I guess, but it's like somebody said, it's a setup question. It is. Are they going to ask that of Kamala? Because she's basically screwed up the country over the past.
Yeah, I think that would be a great question for both of them. If there's a debate, I would love to see that question. I just don't know if there's going to be a debate. I hope there is, but
yeah,
man, I like the guys.
The last suggestions were good ones. 2 of them would be great. See if she'll agree to it. I seriously doubt it.
I know. Let's see. Pamela Carpenter, thank you. She says Poland and Hungary lived through Hitler's invasion. Know your history. I mean, they know exactly. Yeah, they know what they're doing. Evitar Ashkenazi says Kamala don't do normal questions. Now, if it's transgender questions, just like she was transformed into a Black American. Judy Flood says, I have a great grandson born early on Saturday, August 3rd. That's awesome.
Oh, congratulations.
Audrey Krause 5 says Kamala can't hack an unscripted debate. All Trump would have to do is watch her dig her own hole. She would do her typical rambling. And we've got so many examples later in today's show. Oh my God. There's so many that I've forgotten from her, like just amazing Veep thoughts by Kamala Harris. Oh my gosh. Let's see. Jules B320 says Trump should use that. I don't know what that means, but probably one of those ideas that we just floated. I'm guessing. All right. I know you guys get real mad when there's criticism of Trump, but there was quite a bit after the rally that he held in Georgia this weekend, because he went after the very popular Georgia Republican governor, Brian Kemp. I mean, endlessly during his rally. So there's tweets that just sort of summarize it. Here's just one quote. He said, Fonnie Willis is a good friend of your governor. I'm not a fan of your governor. Trump tells the crowd in Atlanta, re-upping his attacks on the state's popular Republican governor and the prosecutor who has charged him with trying to overturn 2020. Neither is there. Trump is just continuing, he said, on about Brian Kemp. Atlanta's like a killing field, and your governor ought to get off his ass and do something about it. He read crime reports from Atlanta. Let's see. He also said, very disloyal person, very disloyal. He repeatedly talked about Brian Kemp. According to Josh, there was 13 times. He's a bad guy. He's a disloyal guy. He's a very average governor. Georgia's a swing state that Trump desperately needs to win. And this shit makes me feel like Trump doesn't actually want to win. Like, I don't know what he's doing or why.
Okay, so but it's personal for him, right? This is what it's all personal. He gets really, really, he gets really upset when people diss him personally. And if he does feel like, Fanny, whatever the hell her name is sort of like in a camp with this guy, he's like, okay, well, you're done. You're dead to me now, so.
It's so freaking masochistic on his part. I will never understand why he does these things.
Well, I could have seen it if he mentioned it once.
Right. Oh no. It was so many times during the rally and then also on Truth Social. So he was talking about a failed former lieutenant governor who quit his run for office. That was Jeff Duncan, a total lightweight. He made fun of him working at fake news CNN. He said Georgia should throw this bum out of the party. He is unelectable and not respected by anyone other than your lightweight governor, Brian Kemp, who, if it wasn't for me, would never have been governor. So that was one of his True Social posts. And a lot of people were calling him out. Stuff like this is going to cost Trump Georgia. Kemp wins there. Trump doesn't. That is exactly what happened in the last election. Kemp won. Trump did not. We lost 2 Senate races in Georgia. So this kind of stuff is just super not helpful. Guy Benson said it's dumb, pointless, gratuitous, counterproductive, unfocused from a guy losing political altitude against an awful Democratic nominee that his campaign is failing to effectively define. And he could learn a thing or two from Brian Kemp about winning Georgia, which is essential. He went on, Donald Trump, with a whole other tweet going after also Brian Kemp's family and his wife specifically. And then Brian wrote back and said, my focus is on winning this November and saving our country from Kamala Harris and the Democrats, not engaging in petty personal insults, attacking fellow Republicans, or dwelling on the past. You should do the same, Mr. President, and leave my family out of it.
Yeah, the family stuff he could do without.
Why does he do this?
Because he gets really, his ego, he doesn't like it when people, personally are, like he says, disloyal to him.
God. And he could just not say anything. Right. You know what I mean? Like, just don't, just zip it. You're in Georgia where a lot of people really love their governor. And I just, oh my gosh.
Well, some people do, but then some people, like as evidenced in our comments, some people don't. Some people hate him. Some people hate Kemp. And they see that he is fine, but again, he needs to be rooted out. Right. But to your point, we need to win Georgia.
We need to win Georgia. And there's no reason to do this. Like, just leave him out. Obviously, don't have him at your event. No reason to praise him. But why go to this much trouble to mention him over 13 times and then tweet about him and then, just keep this up? Joey Jones also super frustrated by it, saying this is how you lose. Come on, man. Right. He even said.
And like I said, it'd be okay. Like if he said it once,
right,
I'd be like, get your dig in.
Get your dig in and move on.
Right.
And it's just such a bad time to do it, right? Because as this Sonny Wright points out, Kamala's flip-flopping all over the place. Her husband is caught banging the nanny. Democrats admit that their base includes a bunch of anti-Semites. There's war about to break out because of all their failures in foreign policy. There's more illegal violence happening. And Trump's like, I hate this GOP governor in a swing state I need to win. I mean, this is the stuff that makes it so hard to not criticize, right? Like this is crazy.
I hear you. I know. I hear you. I do.
It's crazy. All right. So now that we've had that, we need to talk about the good stuff from Trump's rally, because there was really some great stuff that happened. And I like to be fair. So all the people, like Disney for the win. Are you guys rhino? No, you idiots. I'm just not a cultist. This is not hard. I'm not a cultist, and I will criticize our own side.
God, we have to go through this shit every single day.
Every time.
You're not conservative, really. We've been here 15 years doing this. You're right. Have you? No. Yeah.
Oh my God. All right. So this was a moment. There's a Atlanta painter who painted I don't even know how he got it to sparkle the way that he did, but he repainted that amazing iconic photo of Trump right after he got shot with the American flag in the background and all of that stuff. And Trump noticed him holding up the painting in the crowd and had him come up on stage. And it was really, really cool how this guy painted this, because this is paint. I do not get it. It is amazing.
That is beautiful. I wasn't going to bring him up. Then I saw the painting. I said, come on up, because maybe he'll give it to me. Wow. Come on up. That's okay.
Oh my God. It is really good.
And it sparkles.
You said it sparkles?
Yeah, look at it. It's like all sparkly.
That's amazing. Yeah, that's really good. God bless him.
Is that good?
Yeah, that's really amazing.
But the guy just wanted him to sign it. He doesn't get to keep it.
He just wants him to sign it? That's it? Is that what he said to him? He's like, you don't get to keep it.
He does sign it for him.
Wow, that's fantastic.
What does his shirt say? Can we see it? It doesn't say.
I can't tell.
I can't either.
Oh, I think it's Balenciaga.
Okay.
Wow.
He's like, now I'm going to take this and I'm going to sell it.
Right? Oh my God.
I'm putting this up for auction. Smart man.
Sharon Hamilton over on Venmo said, I was at the GA rally, at the Georgia rally, and I didn't like how much he went after Kemp or Kamala. I wanted to hear more about what he's going to do in his next term and less name calling. He still has my vote though, but he needs to win over other voters. That's exactly right. And I can assure you that Sharon Hamilton is not a rhino for having that opinion. That's just a normal person reacting to what they see. And you guys are not who Trump needs to win over. Just don't forget that. It's the people that hate him that need to be won over. And this does not help.
Not even the people that hate him. There are some people who are like, I could
on the
maybe
fence.
I could maybe vote for him, but I'm just not sure. You know what I mean? Or I'm not so sure about Kamala because listen, it's like my liberal friend a couple weeks ago who wrote me and she was like, I think I'm going to come to your side because right now, economically, everything sucks. Crime-wise, everything sucks. I mean, she's starting to see everything sucks. She's a millennial. And I'm like, come to the side because, it's a much better side. We have cookies. Come over here, And so these are the people that we're trying to win over, right? And so if she saw that, I don't know what she would think. I think that's who you're referring to, right?
Exactly. That's exactly right. And she even told you she doesn't like Trump. And so
she's not a fan.
Are so bad that she gets it, that there's absolutely no reason to vote for Kamala, who would just do more of the same crap. But this makes it hard. And that's the point. And it is okay for me to say that without you guys losing your shit and calling us rhinos. Like, calm down. Also, do you remember back when Whoopi and Trump were friends? Because they were like,
and Joy loved him
all
too.
of them.
Joy would like run her fingers through his hair.
That's right. And I'd forgotten about this clip where actually Whoopi, like they grab each other's hands. They even say that they're friends. I had completely forgotten this clip.
And she likes me. She even put me in her movies. She put me in her movies, right? A long time ago. And how much should I judge? Nothing.
Like they say in the
it was a preview.
I mean, she wouldn't even touch him now. She finds him
won't say his name.
Right. You're absolutely right. She finds him so repulsive because he has an R next to his name. It's extreme TDS. These people have such hatred for this man. They want him to die.
Mm-hmm.
They want that. It's gross. It's so gross what's happened in this country.
It is. Another great moment from the rally was when the Chick-fil-A chick, that's how I refer to her because I don't know her name, but she is one of those people who met Trump like a month ago where it was at a Chick-fil-A and she didn't know he was coming to visit that particular location. She just happened to be there at the time and was super excited to meet him, knew everything about him, and he had this really nice interaction with her. And now here she is at the rally, at the podium, talking to the crowd. It was kind of awesome.
They don't want to talk policy. They just want to use propaganda to steal your vote. The left is trying to tout this woman as a savior for the black community, but all she's done is hurt the black community since she came into the game.
She's adorable.
I know, I love her. Michaela Montgomery. Thank you.
See, the first step in destroying the black community is to dismantle the black family. So aside from her record as a prosecutor, why don't we ask Mrs. Willie Brown if Kamala Harris cares about black families?
Oh, damn. Oh, damn. Oh, my goodness. She's I didn't say it. I didn't say it.
That cracked me up. Anyway, she's fantastic. She is amazing. JD Vance also spoke, and he wanted to address this new talking point that we've gone over a couple times about how everybody's weird. Trump's weird. JD Vance is weird. His followers are weird. Everything's weird, right? This is the new Democrat talking point.
The marching orders,
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So here he is addressing that.
Every time the Democrats attack us and attack our movement, they can't help but tell on themselves. They reveal how much they hate the American people. Now remember this. Remember, Barack Obama said we cling to God and guns. Remember that? Hillary Clinton called us deplorables. And now Kamala Harris says we're weird. Well, Kamala, I'm glad you brought that up. Let's talk about some things that are weird. We think it's weird that Democrats want to put sexually explicit books in toddlers' libraries. We think it's weird that the far left wants to allow biological males to beat the living crap out of women in boxing.
Yep.
We think it's weird for a presidential candidate to bail convicted rapists and murderers out of prison, and that's what Kamala Harris did. And I think it's especially weird when Kamala Harris comes to Atlanta. I believe came here to this arena. Kamala Harris comes to Atlanta and talks with a fake Southern accent, even though she grew up in Canada. You can't make it up. That's pretty weird.
See, what's not to love about this guy?
I don't know.
What is wrong with people?
On him so much.
I don't get it. Like, people on our side are just like, I don't like him. What? Why? What is your problem? I don't get it.
I don't either. I am right there with you because it makes no sense. And it's like the media is trying to convince us all that he was a terrible choice by Trump without giving any real reason why, except to say that he's weird. And
I think he's freaking great.
Yeah.
And Kenny, you're right, because he is normal. Kenny Peace is right, because he is normal. He's normal. And it's like people are freaked out by that. He is completely normal. It's like the kind of guy that you would be friends with in real life, who's a complete badass, and he is normal. And people are like, they are weirded out by that, I think.
I don't get it because I think he's fantastic.
I do too.
Casa Donata over on Local said, Louis, my Great Pyrenees is one today. Thanks for all you do, ladies.
Oh my God, he's so fluffy. He's so fluffy.
Treats. He gotta have some treats.
Oh my gosh, get him some Ruff Greens. Do
Louis, I hope you have Ruff Greens for him. Speaking of Vance, he was on the Full Send podcast, during which he talked about the moment that he discovered he was going to be chosen as VP. And it's a cute little story, and he tells it funny. And so I thought you guys might want to hear that.
Monday morning of the Republican National Convention, that's the first day of it. We fly to Milwaukee we have 3 little kids, 7, 4, and 2. So we fly to Milwaukee, and I have no idea what's going on. And the plane doesn't have Wi-Fi on it. So it's about an hour flight, and I land, and I've got like 350 messages, right? And one of them is from somebody on the Trump campaign and says, hey, check your phone. Make sure you don't miss a call because a really important call's coming. So I'm like, oh shit, right? Either a good call or a bad call, but it's an important call. And about an hour later, I get another message from the same person who says, hey, you just missed a really important call. So I'm like, oh no. So I call Trump and I'm like, hey, sir, what's going on? He's like, JD, you missed a very important phone call. And now I'm going to have to pick somebody else. And I like tense up and almost have a heart attack. And the crazy thing about it is my son, who's 7, is in the hotel room with me. And he's really into Pokemon cards right now. He's going through a Pokemon phase. Are you guys into Pokemon?
Back in the day. Yeah, that's a big phase right now, I think, in general.
Yeah. So, I mean, he's really into it. So he's trying to talk to me about Pikachu. And I'm on the phone with Donald Trump. And I'm like, son, shut the hell up for 30 seconds about Pikachu. This is the most important phone call of my life. Please just let me take this phone call. And he doesn't care. He's like, he doesn't know what the President of the United States means.
So funny.
So Trump hears him and says, who is that? I'm like, that's my 7-year-old son. He's like, put him on speakerphone.
Oh my God.
I do. And Trump proceeds to read the statement that he's about to put out, making me his VP nominee. And he asked my son, he's like, what do you think about that? And my son's like, oh, it sounds pretty good, And he goes, okay, fine. And he hangs up the phone and the statement goes out 5 minutes later. And then my whole life changed. And that's how it happened.
That's fantastic. I mean, what a moment for a son. He doesn't get it now, But one day when he's, 20, 30, 40 years old, he's going to be like, I was in the room and I was there and the president spoke to me and asked me what I thought about that. What a cool moment for his son.
Yeah. But because
Fantastic.
I mean, you're normal, and so that's how you look at it. But the crazy psychopaths on the left are now using that as a way to attack JD Vance for telling his kid to shut up so he could take a call from the president.
Are you
So he's basically the worst dad ever now.
Oh my God. Are you
No joke.
joking?
Nope. I've seen so much criticism of it, and it's just like, you cannot.
You're joking. This is the party that mutilates children.
Right.
And they're mad that I can't. I can't with this. Okay. All right.
Oh my God. Ridiculous. Okay. And then Josh Shapiro, so JD Vance, I can't remember the venue, but JD Vance took a couple shots at Josh Shapiro, saying that he's kind of phony, like he's very much reminiscent of Barack Obama, like real good at speaking with all this flowery language, but just not really made of a lot of substance.
Right.
And so there was a reporter who asked Josh Shapiro to respond to those comments that JD Vance made. And it is as if he is describing Kamala to a T, but he has no idea. He's ripping on JD Vance, but what he's saying is exactly what Kamala is like.
But look, I'll say this about JD Vance. It is real hard being honest with the American people when you're not being honest with yourself. JD Vance is a total phony baloney.
Oh my
he
God.
is the most inorganic candidate I think I have ever seen on the national stage. He doesn't know what he believes, and that is why it is impossible for him to articulate a coherent message to the American people, because he doesn't believe it. This guy is not exactly off to a good start, and it is clear that Donald Trump really has buyer's remorse with his pick.
Oh my
God,
God,
if he wants to sling insults in my direction, which I'm not even sure is an insult, let him do it. That's fine. Bring it on. I'll be ready for whatever the hell JD Vance throws my direction.
This guy's scared. He's totally scared. Oh, and by the way, dude, you're Jewish, and the Democrats hate Jewish people, right? Are you aware of that? Do you have any self-awareness whatsoever? Seriously. I still don't think he's going to be the guy.
Well, I think we're going to know today. I think it's going to be announced today. So we will see. But yeah, I just couldn't. I was just so. It really struck me that everything that he was saying was exactly what Kamala is like. She's not honest. She has no idea what she stands on. She doesn't know what she stands for on any topic. And so she just lies or sounds like an idiot whenever she talks about her policies.
And listen, JD Vance knows exactly who he is.
Yep.
He will be fine in a debate with either one of these jackholes. He'll be just fine because he is right with himself. He's right with God. He gets it. He's grounded. He'll be fine.
Yeah. Audrey Krause said, JD Vance is amazing. What a great choice for VP. He is so real and he will be the best. I like his weird, AKA normal. Exactly.
That's right.
Okay. And then lastly, in this grouping, fantastic ad of a pro-Trump ad, anti-Kamala ad, which is so powerful because it is wordless. It has no speaking in it. You're going to love this. Check it out.
Thanks, everybody.
11 at 675 Main. Back completed.
It's so great.
Is awesome.
So great.
Such a good ad. God, I just love that. Loved it.
Very powerful.
Pamela Carpenter says, we don't know what normal is. I loved this man, husband, leader. This is what JFK did. And Jose Luis says, Trump lost Georgia. He was leading, and now he's going to lose. Kemp is the bigger man. He continues to help Trump win Georgia while being backstabbed by Trump. I hear you, as you know. Totally get it. Don't think that was a smart idea, but that's what Trump has decided to do, and we're just gonna go with it, I guess. Nancy Pelosi was on with Leslie Stahl, 60 Minutes, right? That's Leslie Stahl.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I think
minutes.
so. Yep. Mm-hmm.
So Leslie Stahl asked her if it's true that she orchestrated what happened with Joe Biden getting out and whether Joe Biden's mad at her over it. And it was just a really interesting answer. Here is this first part.
There have been reports that it was Nancy Pelosi who orchestrated a coordinated effort to squeeze President Biden to drop out.
Please tell us what you told President Biden to persuade him to step aside.
Well, I've never shared any conversations with the President of the United States publicly, no.
It's said that he's furious at you. Is he?
Well, he knows that I love him very much.
I understand that you don't want to own this, but it is so well reported that you were the leader of a pressure campaign.
No, I wasn't a leader of any pressure party. Well, let me say things that I didn't do.
Of any what?
I didn't call one person. I did not call one person. I could always say to him, I never called anybody.
So there was that.
She is so drunk, that woman. Just lit.
So she never called anybody. Did she text people? Did she email them? Like, what does that even mean?
Did she go to his house? So slurry.
It does sound low. I mean, it sounds from what Leslie Stahl is saying that he is angry at her and that she probably did orchestrate this entire thing. And so now she's falling all over herself, trying to compliment him and say how much she thinks of him. And this is where she jumps all the sharks. Every last shark has been jumped with this clip.
So he was in a good place to make whatever decision, the top of his game. Such a consequential president of the United States, a Mount Rushmore kind of president of the United States. Want to know what comes next?
That he belongs up there on Mount Rushmore. Lincoln and Joe Biden.
But you got Teddy Roosevelt up there, and he's wonderful. I don't say take him down, but you can add Biden.
Oh my God.
What in the world?
I mean, these people she's batshit. Okay. But listen, men can get pregnant too. And illegals aren't doing anything illegal. And it's okay to mutilate kids also. But let's put Joe Biden up there as well, because we believe all these things. This is what
we're now facing down like so many wars. And she's like, yeah, like we should just put his face
him up there.
Rushmore. Oh my God.
Nancy, go home. You're drunk. Just go home.
The government has screwed taxpayers once again. Apparently, there was a report saying that the U.S. government has accidentally sent $239 million in development assistance to the Taliban since 2021 because the State Department didn't properly vet their award recipients. This is according to a new report.
Oh
so.
God.
I love what Greg said. So you're telling me we can accidentally send terrorists $239 million, but if I send my friend $14 on Venmo, I have 87,000 IRS agents watching me?
Yep, that's true, Greg. That's accurate. Mm-hmm.
My God.
Isn't it crazy? And this is absolutely. So who gets fired for that? Oh, that's right. Nobody gets fired. Not one person in the federal government will get fired. In fact, they're going to get a pension courtesy of us. You guys get back to work.
Can you just even believe this?
Yes, I mean, 200. How do you not know where $239 million is? How do you not know that? Oh, that's right. You work for the federal government. You don't have to know. You just show up for work every day and get a paycheck. No one ever gets fired. Secret Service much? Oh my God. I can't.
Last week, we had talked about how there was a plea deal reached for the 9/11 masterminds, 3 of them, and that the death, in order to get that plea deal, the death penalty was no longer on the table, and it was ridiculous. And there was a huge backlash against the Biden administration for it. So I guess one piece of good news is that Lloyd Austin has revoked that plea deal and has signed an order that relieves the overseer of that deal of their authority. And now he has direct oversight of that case, and the death penalty is back on the table. So backlash sometimes works, and this is a good example of it. So there's a little bit of good news.
I wonder what would have happened if there wasn't backlash.
Yeah, I mean, they would have probably been moved to Terre Haute, the freaking penitentiary here in Indiana,
and lived out the rest of their days, like 3 squares, right? Yep. And like, I want to get a PhD. The taxpayers will pay for it. This is the thing. Backlash, it helps, but I can't believe that there had to be backlash about this. I mean, it's like the guy who actually shot bin Laden. I read some stuff about him this morning. I can't remember his name. I should know his name, and I'm sorry I don't. One of the Navy SEAL who actually put the bullet in his head, right? He was talking about how this is it's basically, I'm paraphrasing, but it's disgraceful what's happened with all this. Absolutely disgraceful. And I mean, we shouldn't even be having this conversation. You know what I mean? Like, this is nuts. And they shouldn't be, none of these, the 3 masterminds, they shouldn't be alive.
Right. Exactly.
They shouldn't even be living on our dime. It's just gross, you guys. And people will say, and I do remember him saying this, he's like, people always said, never forget, never forget. Well, people forget. And what happens is these lawyers get in there and they get greedy and they take deals and they sell their souls to these other countries, and they get money, and this is what happens. It's so gross. And people forget. I mean, do your kids know? Do your grandkids know what happened on that day? I hope so. I'm sure that a lot of people in here that they do. But think of all the people that don't know and that do forget. And these guys are still alive.
Yeah.
It's gross.
And that we would have to support them through the end of their old age. No, absolutely not. That's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Andrew Huff says, James Lindsay has done a breakdown of Kamala's word salads. They may sound like rubbish, like the unburdened speech, but it is actually a Marxist Maoist statement telling you upfront her ideology. And Uriel Gonzalez says, I urge everyone to read 1984, Orwell's 1984, before the election. Yeah, if you have not read that, it is a must.
Somebody Carrie just put a comment up that says, some people did something. I knew that would make you laugh. It was a great comment, Carrie.
That's right. You guys probably all heard the news or saw the headlines over the weekend that Doug Emhoff, the reason for my name today, cheated. There's reports now that he cheated on his first wife with their nanny and got that nanny pregnant. And there may or may not be a child as a result of that. There's apparently like a picture of some baby that could be the result of this encounter, or that baby could have been aborted. We don't really know what happened with the baby, but this story came out and he was actually forced to address it, and basically said, well, I mean, my wife and I had some trouble, but we've totally resolved it. Everything's like super cool with us now. And they're the best of friends. She's even promoting Kamala as president. The ex-wife's name is Kirsten, I think. And she even tweeted, Usha is going to be in the ex-wives club in 2025. Mark my words.
Whatever.
What a complete biatch.
God, these people are so gross. It's like, what an unhappy biatch is what she is. She's probably single with cats. Usha's going to be in the okay, whatever.
I mean, why would somebody say something like that?
Because she's bitter
of this marriage.
Because she's probably bitter and alone. And that's probably why she's saying that, because she is jealous of the fact that they are blissfully happy together and he absolutely adores his wife and she can't handle that. And so she's got to say something awful like this. You're a horrible human being, Kirsten. What the hell kind of name is that? Kirsten.
Well, he was asked in an interview, I don't think this was over the weekend, but it was just an interesting little flashback about toxic masculinity, because he's a total soy boy. We all know this. He's a manlet. He's not a real man. So for him to weigh in on toxic masculinity, knowing that he's also the kind of guy that cheats on their wives, like everything about him is so... Nothing makes sense about him, but here's
right. And Kirsten was okay with it, apparently.
Yeah.
These people are gross. Yeah.
Here he is talking about toxic masculinity, you guys.
Oh my God.
Talk about masculinity for a moment. Has being second gentleman changed your own view of perceived gender roles or what it means to be a man?
This is something I've thought about a lot and something I've spoken about a lot. There's too much of toxicity, masculine toxicity out there, and we've kind of confused what it means to be a man, what it means to be masculine, where you've got this trope out there that you've got to be tough and angry and lash out to be strong. It's just the opposite.
This is what a male feminist looks like, you guys. He is just... That's what it is.
If he had any masculinity ever, it has been long gone. You guys, look at this. It's gone.
Oh my God. He's such a beta noodle. That's what he is. He's just
I love this. So he tweeted back in 2022, I remember when Kamala called to tell me about the Supreme Court's decision on Dobbs, the first thing I thought about was my daughter. As a dad and a husband, I'm going to do everything I can to speak out and help advance reproductive freedom. And Molly Hemingway was like, so your first thought was if your daughter was used by a man like you used her nanny, you'd want to do everything you could so that the man would be able to likewise avoid accountability for what he'd done. Father of the year there, Doug.
Yeah, it probably was his first thought. It's exactly what his first thought was. I don't doubt it at all. I don't think he lied in that tweet. Yeah, because he is a beta noodle. It's just gross. Like all of them are gross. Yeah. Wow. What a pathetic, weak capsule of a man. Like he's not even it's just gross. And so it's speaking out against toxic anything. Dude, just go drink some more soy. Stop.
Well, now let's get to his wife, because there's a lot of hilarious, unfortunate clips of her that have resurfaced over the last few days, including a montage specifically about inflation. And you guys, when she is asked a direct question about inflation and her own policies, she's hopeless and helpless. And I don't know how anybody wants to vote for this level of stupid.
I think that there can be no higher priority than what we have been clear is our highest priority, which is bringing down the costs and the prices as much as we possibly can. And we will stay focused on that.
Really? Okay, then why haven't they done that in 4 years?
There's more.
I know that was a word salad.
How long should Americans expect? How long should we be bracing for this really sort of historic inflation and some unprecedented gas prices?
Sure.
Oh my God.
In terms of the discussions that the President, Johannes, and I had, they ranged in subject, including the issue of the Black Sea, and I'll let him explain in more detail as he would like. But we are, again, fully aware and apprised, because we are in constant communication with the President, with his administration here, about the concerns that they have about the entire region and, frankly, the vulnerability.
The Black Sea? She was asked about the economy. She was like, the Black Sea this and the Black Sea. What? What is she talking about?
I don't know, but that was this has not been cut, you guys. That was exactly her answer to. First, she looked at him like, "What? Can you answer the question about U.S. inflation? I don't know." And then she was like, "Okay, well, I guess I'll answer it." And then proceeded to talk about the Black Sea.
What is even happening? She's so inept.
Oh my God, there's more.
All you have to do is look at the map.
Oh, okay. What? I'm sorry.
Continue to work together to address these issues, to tackle these challenges, and to work together as we continue to work
Together.
operating from the new norms, rules, and agreements that we will convene to work together on.
She's going to work together by working together.
You guys, she is an idiot.
Oh my God. Like a colossal idiot. The biggest idiot ever. And they've propped her up. They've just put her right up on a pedestal. Oh my God.
And here's another one. Here's another question. The direct question is, what are you going to do to lower the prices and end inflation? Here's her non-answer.
Black Sea.
What are you going to do to fix this problem with inflation?
All right, thank you. Well, let's start with this. Prices have gone up.
Oh,
good job.
And
right.
Families and individuals are dealing with the realities of that bread costs more, that gas costs more.
Yeah,
and we have to understand what that means.
We do.
That's about the cost of living going up.
get
That's about having to stress and stretch limited resources.
Good job.
That's about a source of stress for families that is not only economic.
Okay, move on.
But is on a daily level, something that is a heavy weight to carry.
Sweet
so it is
Jesus.
something that we take very seriously. Very seriously.
Very seriously.
And we know from the history of this issue in the United States that when you see these prices go up, it has a direct impact on the quality of life.
We
for
are all
people in our country.
We are all
so
dumber
it's a big
now.
issue, and we take it seriously.
Okay. Well, then answer the damn question. Answer it.
Oh my God.
So like people, but there are dumb people in our country who see her basically restating a question and just saying it over and over again in a word salad. And they're like, that was brilliant. I'm with her. I'm with her. I am. Well, you're an idiot.
You can't make this, you can't be dumber. I mean, this is KJP level dumb.
Well, you can. You could be the people who are voting for this biatch.
Okay,
those are the dumber people because they look at her and they think that she is smarter than them. And
she's not. We have so much more evidence, so much more. So back to that presser that she did with with Poland. There was also this doesn't have to do with inflation, but this is also just another example of how moronic
And it is a priority, therefore. I am here, standing here on the northern flank, on the eastern flank, talking about what we have in terms of the eastern flank and our NATO allies, and what is at stake at this very moment. What is at stake this very moment are some of the guiding principles around the NATO alliance, and in particular, the issue and the importance of defending sovereignty and territorial integrity, in this case of Ukraine.
You guys, she's on all the flanks right now. She's standing right on them. All the flanks.
She's unburdened by flanks, you guys. She's unburdened by every flank.
Oh my God.
God. There's more. There's more. She's giving us more.
Well, this is an ad. This is actually an ad against her, which is also very, very good.
Look at her face. Just look at her face right now. That's it. That's the face.
This is also very effective ad.
Bidenomics is working.
No.
Meanwhile, most renters feel like they will never be able to own a home.
The typical starter home is now worth more than $1 million. For many buyers, that means achieving the American dream of owning a home is increasingly difficult, if not impossible.
And Bidenomics is working.
Listen to this stat. Since 2020, food prices have increased 26%, and we are all feeling it when we go grocery shopping.
Bidenomics, it's working. It's a term we're very proud of, I must tell you.
Gas prices are on the climb across the U.S.
Prices are nowhere near the levels they were at in 2020.
And Bidenomics is working.
So you get 3 consecutive monthly readings on job gains that are less than 125,000. I'm beginning to smell a recession.
Bidenomics is working.
It's working.
It's not working.
It's not. It's not working at all. So all the people, all the lemmings, the lobotomized sheep who are like, I'm with her. Okay, take the celebrities out of it. because the celebrities just aren't affected by things like we are because they're mega rich. They live in mansions, gated communities, and they don't even do their own grocery shopping and their own driving, right? But all the other people, the people who are, middle class or whatever, who are like, I'm with her, people who you see in your social feeds and stuff like that, who are like, I'm with her. Why? But why? Because they see, they're going to the gas station, they're paying for, do they think it's going to change? Like, because just automatically she's going to become president and then she's going to change like miraculously because she's not going to get smarter.
If they think that, what do they think she's going to change into? There's not a single policy idea that she has presented outwardly or on her website. There's nothing.
Yeah.
She is a blank slate.
Yeah. The only thing that she is presenting to them is I'm Black and I'm a woman.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and by the way, I'm stupid. So, what is it that they think is going to happen? It's like, and this is why I say the populace, we are dealing with really, really dumb people, you guys.
Really dumb people.
Really dumb.
And she's the high priestess of them. And here's another great example. This is a flashback. I know we've joked many times, and I don't pretend to understand the cloud, but I do know that it's not an actual cloud. Okay? Like when you're talking about
it's not
storage
of
your
here.
Information.
It's not up here.
It's not an actual cloud.
Right.
Kamala does not know that.
So you're now no longer are you necessarily keeping those private files in some file cabinet that's locked in the basement of the house. It's on your laptop, and it's then therefore up here in this cloud that exists above us.
Oh my God.
Right? It's no longer in a physical place.
It's up here. It's right. It's there, you guys. It's up there. It's right. It's up there in an actual cloud.
And then when you need your information, you wait for it to rain on you.
Does it rain? Sometimes it's snow, but most of the time it's rain when you need it.
I can't. She's just too dumb. And then she's also like, remember how we talked about the 3 versions of the wine mom last week from Michael Malice?
Yes.
So in this next clip you're about to see, she does a couple of different ones. Like all the moms come out in like a 20-second clip. Cause you know how she likes to act like she's Miss Tough.
Oh yeah. The Kavanaugh one. Kavanaugh.
Kamala. Yeah. So here she talks about striking that balance.
And as a woman, there's a balance to be struck between being tough and being a bitch. Turn that off.
Oh my God. Somebody, God.
No one thinks Kamala is funnier than Kamala.
Oh my God, right? She's like, I've had way too much Chardonnay. Oh my God. Stop
That's just weird.
Stop.
That's weird.
She's weird. Yeah. And I don't even, is it weird or is she just dumb? She's just dumb.
She's really dumb, man. She's
and
really
drunk like Pelosi.
Over on Locals, Audrey Krause 5 says Kamala is Selena in Veep. What the fuck? It is painful. And by the way, Julie Louis-Dreyfus is going to be campaigning, probably going to be making an appearance at the DNC. And whether she's going to be Selena, that would be a trip, right? Like if she comes out as Veep and doesn't realize that they are exactly the same.
I don't think she will, though. I think she probably will distance herself from that because it is derogatory towards Kamala, right? That the comparisons that are being made. And then here she is. She's going to stump for her. I cannot. There's so many. I sent you a thing this morning. I don't know if you saw it right before we went on the air. And it's all these comics that are stumping for her. I mean, it's like, I don't
People
even know.
that are so disappointing.
Yeah.
Like Jason Bateman.
Jason, is he even a comic? I don't even know if he's a comic.
Yeah, that's
like
true.
John Hamm, all these people, granted, listen, I know that a lot of celebrities are liberals, are in fact liberal. But do they have to like outwardly campaign for her? Because do you not look around and see what is our country is a dumpster fire. And she did it. she's responsible for that. She and Joe Biden are responsible for that. And somehow they think it's a good idea to go stump for this moron. And they're doing it.
I know. Glenn Greenwald was on with Laura Ingraham talking about how she has had to meet no expectations. She's not had to answer a single question, and it's getting ridiculous.
Glenn, this is really wild at this point because she has enough electoral votes to be the Democrat presumptive nominee, yet she will have answered not a single question from a single journalist. Your reaction to that tonight?
I think that is really key, to just take a step back, a moment to pause and realize how unusual and disturbing this situation is. She has somehow become the Democratic nominee for President of the United States, even though she didn't campaign for that position except for about 2 months back in 2019, and it was a complete failure. And no one voted for her. She didn't have to go and convince people to support her policies. She hasn't said what her policies are. We know nothing about what she thinks. The Middle East is on the brink of a major war. There's still a war going on in Ukraine, all of these economic challenges, and we really don't have any idea what her views are on any of those things, and no one in the media really seems bothered by that. It's all first ever this and coconut pill that, and isn't she great with her energy? It's amazing, Laura, that we're 3 months away from a national election, and one of the major candidates is a complete blank slate, and I think probably doing that on purpose.
Yep. It's cult of personality. It's just like Obama, remember? Mm-hmm. They're talking about that. They're even saying it's a lot like what it was, the energy with Obama. And you and I started Chicks on the Right during Obama because we were like, this is whack.
What is wrong with all these people? Yeah,
these people are hypnotized by the cult of personality, which is not what we should be doing. It's like, and he's not talking about policy. He's talking about, everybody's so enamored with him as as sort of just a personality, an icon, and as opposed to like us talking about actual issues and policy. And that's how we got started. And so it reminds me so much of that. Yeah. It's like so circular how everything happens. And this is what's happening again. And all the young people now and all these stupid women are just like, oh, because she's going to be the first, I've got to vote for her. And it's like, it's just maddening, you guys. It's crazy.
It's idiocracy. We're living in it. We're smack dab in the middle of it. Mm-hmm. It's so disheartening. Scott Jennings, we've been playing him a lot lately, and he also wanted to weigh in about just the invisibility of Kamala when it comes to speaking directly to reporters.
Yeah, I was just thinking about all the messages they've tried out this cycle. They started with Bidenomics. That didn't work. With her threat to democracy, we don't hear that anymore after they installed a nominee without casting a single vote for her. So now they're onto this freedom thing. But you hit it. At the end of the day, most people are going to vote based on their own views about how the economy is affecting them personally. The conditions in the country hasn't changed. They changed out their nominee, but they haven't changed out the inflation. They haven't changed out the economic anxiety that most working families are facing. And that's something she's still going to have to deal with because she's not an independent actor. She didn't land here, 6 weeks ago on a spaceship and said, hey, I'll take over. Mm-hmm. She's been sitting right next to Joe Biden for the last 4 years. And all of what came with that was a mid-30s approval rating and a country that most people think is wildly off on the wrong track.
Yes.
Yeah, without question. I can't believe they still let that guy speak.
Oh, they got to have their one.
I know, but he's a good one. Yeah, he's not an Alyssa on The View. Do
you think Tom Cotton ever smiles or laughs? He probably smiles, but do you think he ever laughs? Like a real hearty one?
Probably never a guffaw.
Yeah, like a
belly guffaw. Yeah, he's a very serious individual. Yeah. We should take him out for drinks.
I would love to hear him do a Kamala style laugh.
It's never going to happen, Mike.
I just don't think it will. No. He is very serious, but he's also 100% right about how dangerous her policies are.
Remember, she's only been the nominee for 2 weeks now. She hasn't answered a single question, not one single question by the media, Ed. She's only had one single unscripted moment Thursday night at Andrews Air Force Base welcoming those hostages back. And she served up the kind of incomprehensible word salad for which she's become famous. When she has to encounter the media, and I'm sure you're going to insist that she does, she's going to have to answer for things like why she wants to eliminate oil and gas production in this country, why she wants to ban gas-powered cars, why she wants to confiscate private firearms. So we knew this race was going to be close all along, whoever the Democrats wanted to put up against President Trump. But Kamala Harris has only been the nominee for 2 weeks and hasn't answered a single question. When the American people get a better look at her and her radical positions, I think you're going to see that they don't want her to continue the Biden-Harris legacy.
I appreciate
20 prime. I like
that's right.
I like Tom Cotton. I like him a lot. I just think
Oh,
he was that 7-year-old kid that wore a tie to elementary school. You know what I mean? You know, he was Alex P.
Totally.
Keaton. Alex P. Keaton all the way. Yeah.
Yes,
Mhm.
he absolutely was.
Mhm.
Also, this woman, LaFonza Butler is her name. She's a congressperson. And Dana Bash is asking her, listen, Kamala's had some flip-flops. Like, she's basically 100% flipped on most policy issues. Do you think voters are going to have, you know, like a problem with that? The answer you're about to hear to that question is one for the ages.
Mary, the vice president, praised the defund the police movement, and now she says she doesn't support defunding the police. She called for decriminalizing crossing the border illegally. Now she supports President Biden's policies for clamping down at the border. She supported Medicare for all at one point, eliminating private insurance, and her campaign says she doesn't support that now. She's reversed herself on a fracking ban. What do you think that voters should think when she's reversed herself on several issues just in the last 4 years?
I think that voters should think that she's a human being who learns new things every single day.
So no concern about flip-flopping?
No concern about flip-flopping. This is our country changes every single day.
Our country changes, you guys. So
That's the
it's fine.
dumbest answer ever.
I know.
So she stands for nothing.
Right. And it's fine. She's learning every day.
Well, it's fine because she's a black woman.
God.
She's just look at her skin color and look at her gender. And that's all that matters in this election, right? It doesn't matter what it matters that she stands for nothing. She stands for nothing. She's malleable. What does that look like to the people, I don't know, other leaders of other countries, that she's so malleable, that she's weak and stands for nothing? From a national security standpoint, it's a disaster.
It is a disaster. And yet there's all the sheep that will just continue to lap it all up.
Yep.
Okay, this clip runs a little bit long, but it was impossible to cut. And you may have seen it. It was Byron Donalds versus George. What is Trump calling?
Stephanopoulos. Oh my God. Yeah. He was such a jerk in this.
Oh my gosh. He was awful. And Byron Donalds is very good at holding his own. And he did it throughout this entire interview, which is just it's such a perfect example of how obnoxious the mainstream media is right now, especially when it has to do with Trump and anything Trump ever says, ever.
Repeated the slur again. If it doesn't matter, why do you all keep questioning her identity? She's always identified as a black woman. She is biracial. She has a Jamaican father and an Indian mother. She's always identified as both. Why are you questioning that?
Well, George, first of all, this is something that's actually a conversation throughout social media right now. There were a lot of people who are trying to figure this out. But again, that's a side issue, not the main issue. The main issue.
Sir, 1 second. You just did it. You just did it again.
Of the United States.
Why do you insist on questioning her racial identity?
You want me to talk?
I want you to answer my question.
George, now that you're done yelling at me, let me answer. He talked about it on the stage yesterday in Atlanta for 2 minutes? He spent more than 35, 40 minutes going after her record, talking about how radical of a senator that she was. She was the most liberal senator in the United States, in the United States Senate. That is a fact. He talked about the job that she did as vice president of the United States, a job, I will add, which has been a failure for the American people. I know you guys like to glom on to this that he talks about in jest or in a serious manner for about a minute or so, but what you do not cover is the litany of failures of Kamala Harris. That's what you're not covering, George.
So questioning somebody's racial identity for a couple minutes is okay?
George, I'm going to tell you again, he brought it up. AP is the one that wrote the headline when she first came in to the United States Senate. Didn't talk about her being black, talked about her being the first Indian American senator. AP brought that up. I mean, George, we could have this conversation for the entire segment, but none of this matters to the American people. What matters to the American people is, are we going to have the same policies of the Biden-Harris administration that has been destructive of the American people, or are we going to have the policies of the Trump administration, which put America first, had low inflation, prosperous Americans, no matter your race, no matter your color, no matter your creed, and a foreign policy that kept America safe? Those are the facts that truly matter, because this issue is going to come and go. The lives of the American people is what's going to remain, and that's what matters more than anything else.
If it doesn't matter, I don't understand why you keep on repeating it, why the president keeps on repeating it, why those introducing the president yesterday
George,
keep on repeating
I'm not
it.
the one who keeps repeating it. George, you're the one that's bringing it up now. That's you.
You've done it,
I understand why
sir.
you
You've done it.
up.
You've done it 3 times. Every single answer you gave me. Now let me finish, sir.
George,
Every single answer you gave, you repeated the slur.
Asked me, George. That's why I'm pushing back on you now. George, you asked me the question 3 times. I responded, but I'm.
And
also
every
about
single
what
time you
truly
repeat
matters
the
in this
slur.
election.
That is exactly my point. You simply can't say that it's wrong.
George, so then what you're saying, and I want to get off this topic because it's not the only thing that's going on. But George, now you're saying that AP is the one that slurred Kamala Harris, because those are the facts. You can go to the internet and look at the clips, George, if you want to, or we can talk about this now. I prefer to talk about the future of our country, because the American people are struggling. The American people do need serious policy decisions to be made, and they need serious leadership on the world stage. Kamala Harris has not proven that she can do that. Donald J. Trump has proven that he can do that.
AP did not say that Kamala Harris is not black. She is biracial. She is Indian. She is black. You continue to repeat the fact that you continue to repeat the slur. I don't understand why you and the president do it, but it's clear you're not going to say that it's wrong. And you've now established that for our audience.
Where's this? What is a slur? And you know what would be a great idea? We should let this evil little elf moderate a debate. That'd be a great idea, because he seems like he's totally like neutral on everything, right? Oh my God, the guy is so combative. He's just angry. He's like angry. He's angry elf. He's angry elf.
Very angry. Very, very angry. Mm-hmm. Jules B320 said had to get the word black in there somehow. I don't know what that refers to, but that was like a few minutes back. Fire Dragon says they'll 100% put something in her ear if she debates. I believe that. They'll have her ready because they know she's useless without it.
Right. Well, they did it with Biden and it didn't work. It just confused him, made him tired.
Curio23 says, did those hot pants go up to Kamala's sternum? I don't know what hot pants they were referring to either. Jose says, I'm pretty sure the Olympic pole vaulter has a lot of toxic masculinity. Anyways, I'm sure I could be a better vaulter, but whatever. Just take my money. Shelly Effington says, Kamala needs a binder. Maybe KJP can put one together for her. She does need a binder. Judy Flackney says she thinks wait a minute. She thinks she
is a term paper that has a required word count. Yes.
She sounds like that all the time.
She does that. And she restates the question, you know?
Mm-hmm. It's ridiculous. And then never answers, right?
Nope.
Dragon Stalin 1001 says, I can see Daisy taking up drinking today after the Kamala montage.
I'm going to try to refrain.
Uriel says Kamala should choose KJP as her VP. Oh my God, please have mercy. God. BTK says cut government to the essentials as done by the founders, raising minimal revenue, declaring war and regulating commerce, strictly regulate social programs. Wouldn't that be something if government did what it was supposed to do?
Mm-hmm.
And Tamara Johnson says, just turn my husband into a daily listener. We are screwed if Kamala wins, encouraging all my conservative people to get out and vote. You are the best.
Please do that. Everybody here should do that.
About to show you something inappropriate, or at least would be inappropriate today. This movie could never be made today. If you know, you know. But somebody put these 2 clips saying, don't these have the same energy?
What are 2 clips that give off the same energy?
So I know how to make a mean pot of greens. In fact, people used to ask me to make greens for them for Christmas. One year, I had so many that I had to wash that we ended up washing them in the bathtub. So I am not playing around.
Back before the war broke out, I was a saucier in San Antonio. I bet I could call up some of them greens. Yeah, noodle some crawfish out the patio. Maybe some crab apples for dessert now, yeah? Hey, yeah. Ha!
Somebody in the comments, I saw that over the weekend, and somebody was like, Robert Downey Jr. is one of my favorite black men. Seriously, one of my favorites.
What was it called? Thunder something? What was it?
Oh God, you guys, what is the name of it? Tropic Thunder? I think it's Tropic Thunder.
Yes, that's right. That's
and
right.
It was, and the thing that's so crazy is who's the guy that made it? Okay, it's Robert Downey Jr. and oh God, what is his name? Ben Stiller.
Ben Stiller?
Ben Stiller is voting for Kamala.
Ben
Stiller is one of the liberals that's like will stump for Kamala, right? And he probably will be one of the people that would say now that was probably a racist movie. He probably would say that.
Oh my God.
And he made it. And he made right. Robert Downey Jr. though, I've seen him in a couple interviews where he's like, I mean, it was kind of funny at the time.
It's kind of funny today.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Kamala does have a new ad, and if you were thinking, oh great, now she's finally going to say what she's going to do, no, she's not. She's just talking in like general terms about freedom and like how if she fights, she's going to win. Here it is.
Oh, it's good to be back in Georgia. He does not walk it like he talks it. Do we believe in freedom? Let's get this done, Atlanta. Do we believe in the promise of America? And are we ready to fight for it? And when we fight, we win.
Okay.
What?
Thanks for letting us know about your policies.
Right. I know. It's like, what have you done? You basically made America a dumpster fire. Congratulations. Right. But thanks for having Megan the Stallion shake her ass on a stage.
Super helpful.
Yay.
Super helpful. Unfortunately, it's working. So in just 3 weeks, the Democrats' lead among blacks has grown 14 points. And among college-educated whites, they went from +2 to +10. So, as Chris Wilson points out, attacking the blackness, probably a losing strategy. It's definitely not helping. And 538 Nate Silver says that the streams have crossed and Kamala is now showing to be ahead of Donald Trump on his forecasts as well. So whatever Trump is doing, he needs to stop doing and go back to what he does best, which is touting his amazing record, because it is amazing. And he did great things for this country. That needs to be the focus. I hope that they course correct, because I really want him to win. Does he?
Yeah, I'd really like for him to win too. We can't handle another 4 years of this, you guys. We just can't. We don't have, I don't think we can withstand it. I don't think our country has the bandwidth, if you will. Is that the word? I don't think we can do it.
No. I don't know how we do. I know a lot of people are saying polls, schmoles, don't listen to the polls. Okay, but we showed them when it was in Trump's favor too. So we're just showing them as they happen. You know what I mean? All right. We could do a schlong of Mean Comment Monday, Mean Message Monday.
That'd be fun. Wouldn't it be fun?
Should we just do it? Because we're already.
Yeah, let's just do it.
All right.
So we've decided 2 hours. Yeah.
Yeah, we've decided that on Mondays, we're going to share with you some of the mean messages and comments that we get across all kinds of different platforms. I think today it's just YouTube because we have so many that we don't have time to get to all the platforms today. But we're going to kick it off with some YouTube comments. And some of them, you guys, are just so priceless. So like this one, Gonna Piss You Off says, oh boy, it is fun watching the lowest common denominators all pat each other on the back for doing absolutely nothing. I can't read.
Don't you right-wingers get tired of all your women looking like Fox News hosts? Why would they get tired of that? They're all gorgeous.
They're hot. Why would anybody be tired of that?
As opposed to the Molly Jong Fast or whatever her name is over at MSNBC. I think that people will take the hot Fox News host over the freaks. Thank you very much. Gonna piss you off. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This one very short to the point.
Nice.
DD Saracen 8749 says, "You lying wenches."
I mean, wenches. That's actually pretty tame. We've been
It's not
called a
bad.
lot. We've been called a lot worse. Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely we've definitely been called worse.
Mm-hmm.
This one was so confusing. I cannot support your show. I don't like pink, and I don't like Donald Trump, and I cannot stand Republicans. Having said that, to say goodbye.
Okay. All right. Well, hello and goodbye. Bye.
Why do people need this kind of attention?
It's like up. They always say it's not an airport. You don't have to like announce your departure. Goodbye.
You don't like pink? I mean, what in the
What's
world?
wrong with you? Yeah. And if it's like, if you don't like Republicans, then why are you even here to begin with? You know?
Tahim
this is
Whitmore
my
says,
favorite.
nah, you white bitches ain't slick. Y'all not about to try and use black people to agree with certain things you do to try and act like y'all were with us all along. GTFO.
Okay. I don't. Okay.
We're not slick.
I mean, I'm not. I don't think of myself as slick. And I wasn't trying to use black people at all at any time.
I don't recall doing that. We may have shared some black person's perspective because we appreciate it, but I don't know that
somebody's
that makes us
racist.
slick.
And I think it's Tahim Whitmore. That's what I think.
Let's see. Russell Romano says, you're a bunch of ignorant, Republican, Trump-loving C-word.
C-word.
F you, you racist bitches.
It's always with the racism, you know, always.
Yeah.
Always with that, or the white supremacy. We get the white supremacy a lot on Instagram. I get those. It's like, oh, okay, well, thanks. You guys have, because racism we had for like years and years and years, and it used to really bother us. And then I was like, race. I get called a racist every day. You're gonna have to do better. And now they just call us white supremacists, which that's starting to roll off me too. I'm just like, whatever.
I know. I mean, it's just like, okay, what are you going to call us next? Weird? Bring it. Whatever.
Ooh, okay. All right.
It's just so silly. Let's see. They both racist as F.
Okay. These kids, man, they've been indoctrinated to think that if we have white skin, we're automatically racist.
That's exactly right. Let's see. What do the two of you identify as? Idiots?
Okay, that's good, Brian Lucas. Do better. Bless your heart. God, get
Some
out
of
your
these
basement.
are just painfully
I know,
lame.
it's so bad. You know that guy has like Cheeto residue on his shirt. God.
And then the accusation that we're lesbians. That's always a good one.
Always.
So Straight Basics Inc. says, oh, you gals are lesbo. I'll have to graciously decline. Man, I was so on board. I'm sorry. But y'all gals are on to something.
What's wrong with lesbians?
Like, it's like he's saying it like it's an insult. I don't know why.
If I were going to be a lesbian, I would probably be a lesbian with you.
Totally.
Yeah. But we're not. Alas, we are not lesbians.
And if we were, what exactly is he declining?
Right. We didn't invite you into our non-lesbian relationship, dude. Exactly.
Although maybe this is a woman. Maybe that's what she is declining.
Straight Basics. Well, I feel like this person is super, because Straight Basics Inc. Yeah, I don't know.
Anyway, we're not lesbian.
No,
Sorry
we're
to
not.
disappoint
We're not lesbians.
We hate too. You will always be single, you dry old batches.
Okay, not single, and I'm not. I don't like the dry thing. I don't know if we want to address that at all. But we're definitely not single, and we're happily. Both of us are happily married to different men.
Yeah. We hate too. I don't know what that means.
I don't know what that means either. I feel like Ben is the one who's a single dry old batch, is what I think. Bless your heart, Ben.
And then there was this one, which I don't know if it's a compliment or an insult.
Y'all two gals are fine as frog hair. Oh my gosh. I think it's a compliment. Is that anybody here from Arkansas? Because I feel like that could be I'm going to take it as a compliment because we need something positive out of all this.
I mean, I don't know what to take. And we're not gals, we're gales.
Oh,
y'all
gales.
Two gales are fine as frog hair.
I'm taking it as a compliment. Yeah, Carrie says it's a compliment.
Really?
Yeah, that's
okay,
sweet.
But why? Like, what is that? Where does that come from? That phrase? What does that even mean?
It comes from Arkansas.
Well, I love that.
Kathy's from Arkansas, and Hay says it means very fine. Oh my God, look at that. Somebody from Arkansas gave us a compliment. I didn't know that frogs even had hair.
I mean, that's amazing. Finest frog hair. I'm going to have to start using that because I like it. I like it a
Carrie
lot.
said her neighbor says it all the time. That's so sweet.
I mean,
Look at
because
us.
frogs don't have hair, which is
I know.
hence my
right?
confusion.
Right.
Jason Decker says the Olympian could have won the high jump and pole vault in one event. Is there a training program for married men? And then Jose says, here's my mean message for Monday. Y'all some biatches for Trump.
Okay.
And
I like
Shannon
it.
Hope says finer than frog hair is a compliment in North Carolina.
Because their hair is so super, super fine.
They have hair?
I didn't even know that they had hair. I didn't know. So didn't know this. I had
Ashley says you need a frog.
Jay-Z, you need a frog. I have lots of frogs, you guys. In fact, I need to get a video because I got those things that
you did.
Yeah, so the frogs can climb out of our pool. I got 2 of them, and so I'll have to do a video. I'll do that this week. Get a video.
Sure.
I don't have any video of frogs actually climbing out. I have no proof that they're climbing out, but there are less frogs in our trap. So there
are still frogs. How dumb are those frogs?
They're as dumb as Kamala, Mock. As dumb as her. So there's still some frogs dying, but not nearly the number of suicidal frogs that we have encountered in the past month or 2.
Good. Oh,
so
good.
I feel like they may be working. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, it's time for your DD.
Okay. My DD is just this sweet little video. You guys may have seen it over the weekend. It was kind of making the rounds, but it's of a super, super young, like little baby Katie Ledecky. And she was in a box at some basketball game, some NBA game with Michael Jordan back in the day. And I think her uncle is some sort of an owner. And
so she's the kid.
She's the baby. Look at her. That's Katie Ledecky, you guys.
Look at the size of his hands.
I know. And he's playing peekaboo with her. Isn't it the sweetest? And I thought what was so crazy to me is that like he has no idea that little girl is going to go on and have like more medals than him, like Olympic medals. And granted, he is obviously an accomplished man.
He is
you know what I mean? I feel like he is. Yeah. But isn't that just the craziest thing? Like
So
he has no
cute.
idea that sweet little baby girl is going to go on to be Katie freaking Ledecky, right?
That's amazing.
Isn't that neat?
Amazing.
Mm-hmm.
All right, it's time for some My Pillow Talks. Hide your kids, hide your wives, because this one's got some F-bombs in it. And it is this girl that you see on your screen right now only takes up a tiny bit of this. I don't know what she says, but we're in luck because we have a translator, and she is very, very good at translating.
Hi, I'm Lisa, and welcome to What the Fuck Was That Translation Services. We're going to go ahead and get started, as this may take a while. What Vicky said was, don't play with that girl, Vicky. She is not one of them. What little baby say, we're in Miami in the middle of winter, and we on these jet skis. The fuck you talking about? Now, we're going to go ahead and break that comment down. Don't play with that girl. Vicky means Vicky is not to be challenged at any time for any reason whatsoever, because she will win. She's not one of them, meaning she's not a person who is shy or reserved about anything. She's going to speak her mind. What little baby say at that time, Vicky is referencing someone who can bear witness to who she is and what she does. Little baby can be a friend, spouse, family member, whatever. We're in the middle of winter in Miami on these jet skis, sort of speaks for itself. Now, the ending, what the fuck you talking about, basically means I said what I said, and I'm firm in my belief of what I said. Have a great day.
Oh my God, I love that was so great. That was so great. Also, what was her bathing suit? Like it looked like she was in a fight with a tiger at some point. She okay?
Won by a mile.
Totally, the tiger won. She all right?
My mind has been completely blown by this video that you're about to see. So you can see the caption. My 5-year-old twins have informed me that I sing the alphabet song wrong. The tune is the same, but there's a new rendition that the teacher prefers that breaks down as follows. You're going to hear the explanation for this, but I am shattered by the fact. Did you hear this?
I saw some of this trending over the weekend, and I was like, "What? Okay, but have you heard it? You'll
hear it in this video. There's a teacher who explains the rationale, and then she sings it, and I cannot. I am so messed up from this.
Y'all, it's true. I'm a teacher, and I don't teach the alphabet the way I grew up singing it.
No.
And this is one of the reasons, because kids hear L-M-N-O-P and they don't say the individual letter names. Some even think that this is one letter. Another reason is because at the end of the traditional alphabet song, we sing Y and Z, and some kids think that YN is a letter or NZ is a letter.
So
instead we sing it
right. We live
C D E F G H I J K L M N O P Q R S T U V W X Y Z. Now I never will forget how to say the alphabet.
I can't. I
Nope.
cannot.
I'm not doing it.
process.
I'm not doing it. Why? So it's like they're like, well, kids are too stupid to figure that out. We figured it out,
Right? Has
Gen
this
X
ever
needs-
been a problem? Did
We're
you ever go to
revolting.
school and like have 5 letters be one letter? Like this is not a problem.
I love Stephanie. She's like, F this biatch. Gen X is like, we're not having no part of this. No part.
I mean, this is unacceptable.
I
That
know.
she's like, well, here's why.
Yeah.
There's some confusion.
Right.
Oh my God, then fix it.
Right. Because kids can't deal with confusion. Deal with
Oh
it.
my
Like kids
God.
need to learn how to deal with confusion and then figure it out in their brains. It's called thinking. What? I'm sorry. Can kids not do that anymore? Oh, that's right. Because most of them are voting for Kamala. Oh my God.
So I'm so mad about it. Like
Yeah,
I
me
had
too.
such hostility towards
Upside
that
down.
teacher.
Yeah, I don't like it either. They're dumbing everything down, and this is a perfect example of it. We have to make it easier. We have to make everything easier for kids. No, you don't. No, you don't. They're actually smarter than you think they are if you actually give them things to be smart about. They'll step it up. It's like I always say to my daughter when she swims, right? It's when she swims with kids who are better than her in the pool, she swims better. She elevates herself. When she swims with kids who suck, she kind of she's not as good. You know what I mean? You got to step it up.
I don't even know why I'm sharing this video, but the caption just made me laugh so hard. Because look at his face. He's just so nervous.
I know. He's like, where's the bathroom? Does anybody know where the bathroom is?
I mean, I just feel so bad for him. Look at him. It's like, I don't have any friends yet. I just loved him. I loved him so much.
Oh my
God. And then last one. I don't know how this
these
gal.
dogs? What?
Yeah, these are all puppies. These I think
Okay.
there's 4 puppies.
I can't see
And
them.
she has a good night ritual with these puppies. All she does is kiss them on either side of their face and then once on the mouth. And then she lays them down and they are instantly asleep. And I don't know how she trained them to do this, but like I'm saying, it's some sort of magic that they are instantly, it's like they're hypnotized. Watch this.
Go.
Out like a light.
Oh my God, I love it.
Also out. I mean, they're just out.
I think she's blowing some sort of barbiturate in their face.
But
Something.
that works that quickly?
Oh God.
Look at them.
Good night. Good night.
Oh, she is. She's good.
That's
She's
amazing.
That is pretty amazing. God, I love puppies so much.
know, my
That's something you've
God.
never had.
No, I haven't, and I don't think I will.
Mock has never had a puppy, you guys, because she's like, they seem like a lot of work. And they are.
They do.
But man, there's just something about having a puppy. I've had so many puppies and they are a lot of work and they crap in your house and they pee everywhere and they chew everything and they ruin furniture, but they are so worth it. So worth all of that. Am I right? Somebody's like, you need a puppy. No, I don't need another puppy right now. I don't. Mock needs a puppy.
I got way too much going on right now.
Maybe not
hearing
right
you
now,
think
but
about
like in
that.
the next year, she needs a puppy.
I still feel like it's going to be a pretty busy 12 months. You know?
think? You think?
Yeah, I feel like it will.
I got a puppy right after I moved in here. You could do it.
Yeah, I mean, you did.
I know we're insane. We're completely insane. This is my family.
All right. Please pray
We're
that the
bringing it in.
hurricane isn't as awful as it probably will be.
You guys, prayers. Prayers for South Carolina and Florida. And where is it hitting? Georgia. That's right.
Savannah's gonna. Oh God, Savannah. Worried about Savannah.
Yeah.
And actually, I'm worried about Savannah on behalf of everybody because that's a huge shipping port. And I mean, that could be a slowdown. That could just make prices high. It's going to be bad. Hurricanes suck, man.
I know. And you're moving right into the eye of it.
Yeah. I mean, seriously, the eye is supposed to pass over my actual neighborhood. So
I know
we're probably not going to go. But I don't know that we'll have shows Thursday, Friday. So I know we told our insiders and supporters that there will not be a show this Thursday, Friday, or next Thursday, Friday, because that's when I'm dropping Jackson off at college. So definitely won't be a show next Thursday, Friday. This Thursday and Friday, kind of up in the air, but
we don't. Yeah, we may. Not. We made you one. We made you one show and not like one on Friday. You know what I mean? I don't know. We'll see. We don't know. It's up in the air. We'll see what happens.
We'll keep you posted, though, obviously.
We'll definitely keep everybody posted. But in the meantime, have a wonderful Monday, and we will talk to you tomorrow. Bye. Bye, everybody.